Okay.
साईं, हमारी फसलों को कीड़े लग रहे हैं। साईं, क्या करें?
बस आसान करो।
आसान करो हैं?
सही आजकल तो दुबई के बड़े चक्कर चक्कर सही, नई नई पैंट बुशर्ट सही। सही कोई हमारा भी दुबई में रोजगार करा दो सही।
आसान करो।
आसान करो।
चाचू ये थ्योरी समझ नहीं आ रही, समझाए ना कैसे करूं।
आसान करो।
हैं? आसान करो?
छोटे, इसमें तो बड़ा मसला है, शहर भेजना पड़ेगा।
दादी आसान करो।
आसान करो।
यूट्यूब करो, आसान करो।
अपनी जिंदगी की हर मुश्किल आसान करो। यूट्यूब करो, सब आसान करो।
Good evening. Hello everyone. Welcome to back my Facebook page. And I am Ayan Dilaswarwala, and today we have the pleasure of hosting a very special guest. She is health coach, author, and I am a for low toxin living. Please join me in welcoming Carol Mary, the founder of Carol Mary Health Mouse INC, and the author behind Heavenly Tree Press. Carol, it's an honor to have you with us today. Please, please introduce yourself for my viewers.
My name is Cheryl Meyer. I live in the United States. I'm known as Cheryl M. Health Muse, and a muse in English means I want to inspire you to live a healthy life with healthy habits. So I've been doing this now for 5 years, and I'm working with clients to adopt my 20 pillars of health so that they can return to the most wellness state that they can be in and grow old and be cognizant and have a good life.
Thank you for sharing. My question is, can you share your journey as health coach and other and what inspired you to pressure this career?
I'm old. I'm 74 years old. So I was the owner of my own business. I was traveling all over the world. I was designing jewelry for big retailers in the United States. I was traveling to Asia, and then I was traveling east to go to the main offices of all my retailers. I was doing everything to make my business successful except take care of me. And I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping enough. I had terrible stress. I thought the stress was making me accomplish more. And I woke up one morning and I literally couldn't get out of bed because everything in my body hurt. And it ended up, I had a chronic illness. So I have fibromyalgia, which is an autoimmune disease. And the doctors in the United States had no idea what was wrong with me. So I started researching, and flash forward 5 years later, I had eliminated dozens of toxins from my life and completely changed how I ate and learned how to do stress exercises. So at 67, I decided to go back to school. I have a degree in English from UC Berkeley, but I went back to school to become a health coach. I sold my business, and now I work with other people, particularly business people, but also other people with chronic illnesses, so that they do self care, so that they stay healthy as they grow older. And I don't know what the situation is in Pakistan, but in the United States, 82% of us chronic illness or are on the cusp of getting a chronic illness. So I want people to stop eating processed food and only eat real fruits and vegetables. I want them to breathe to release their stress. And then I want them to get at least 7 hours of sleep every night, as well as other things that are on my 20 pillars of health. So that's kind of how I ended up where I am. I got sick, and when I figured out how to return to wellness, I wanted to share it with everybody else. Okay, you, dear. There we go.
What is the what is the significance of low toxin living in promoting overall well-being, and how does your company advocate for it?
I speak a lot to people. I do public speaking. I have written 4 major books. The first one is all about eliminating the toxins in my environment and how I did it, um, which is, I don't know if you guys can get it, but it's available on Amazon. My second book is all about how I sustain a low toxin life, which means how do I go out to restaurants? How do I go to other people's houses for dinner? Because there are things that I will not eat because they are toxic for my body. I don't use any kind of bug spray or pesticide. I have found all natural ways to take care of bugs and pests. Um, I teach a how to not eat processed food class that goes for 6 weeks, and I have tremendous success and lots of testimonials. And if you go to my website, which is Cheryl M Health Muse, Cheryl with a C, M Health, HEALTHMUSE.com. You can see all the testimonials in my blog, and I have some great blogs that will help advise you. And so, how to adopt healthier habits so that you can live a healthy life. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And so, it comes from the toxins in our food and from the toxins in our environment that I want everybody to clean up.
Thank you. And my next question is, how has your education at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition influenced for your health coaching approach?
Well, I already have my BA in English from UC Berkeley, which is one of the best schools. I decided that I needed a reason that people would believe that I know what I'm talking about health. So I went back to school and I got certified as a health coach at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I had done so much research on my own that when I graduated, they asked if I wanted to write a book with them. And I wrote November to January. All the research was already done. So what I did was give me credibility so that I could get out into the world and share everything that I had already learned. And so I loved being there. I met some of the great medical minds of my country that I learned from. And then I researched lots of others. I list all the people that I follow that so that I stay up to date with the latest information. So it was great to go to IIN and get certified as a health coach.
My next question is, tell us about the key themes in your book series published under Heavenly Tree Space.
The first one is how I eliminated toxins, and toxins are not. I also talk about stress as a toxin, lack of sleep as a toxin, anxiety as a toxin. I was in a toxic relationship when I got sick. So I talk about how he had to go, and I met my soulmate as a result, who was my partner, who went on a get well journey with me. My second book was how I live in the real world and sustain all my new healthy habits. My third book is called my desktop guide to stress exercises, which are my breathing exercises and the things I do every day now because my cortisol was so low. I was so stressed that I was almost to Addison's disease. So I'm not going back there. 10 o'clock every day, I stop and I do a breathing exercise. And at 2 o'clock every day, I stop and I do a breathing exercise. Then I did a gratitude journal. I just published my own magazine, free in English. If you go to my website, it's right on the first page of my website. It is 150 pages of great information about health, not only written by me, but written by my doctor, by my naturopath, by a toxin expert. There's wonderful information in my magazine. And then I just published a free ebook called It's Not Complicated: How to Eat Around the Standard American Diet of Processed Food, which is also loaded with toxins. So Heavenly Tree Press is my publishing company because I wanted everything to be able to house together. But my 4 books are also on Amazon, and then my ebook and my magazine are on my website.
My next question is how did your education is English from the University of California directly contribute to your success in the health and wellness industry?
When I graduated many moons ago, I'm older than all of you, my great goal was to write the great American novel, and my major was in English. I never wrote the great American novel. My book on health, my 2 first books have won 22 awards together. So it helped me because I could get all my thoughts down onto paper to set the stage for what I wanted my clients to do so that they could be as healthy as possible. And all of that came from my English background, from my first degree.
Okay. My next question is what challenges did you face as a health coach and author and how did you overcome them?
Started getting out and talking about everything I had learned is that Americans are really into and how cheap eating processed food is. And the statistic is it takes 16 times to hear something before somebody wants to change. So I decided I didn't care if I was the first person or the 16th person. I wanted everybody to hear what I had to say. So I have now done almost 300 guest spots on people's podcasts. I did my own podcast in 80 countries for 2 years. I produced 125 podcasts taking deep dives into health subjects. I've done all my books. I did my magazine. I want people to hear my message because we have more control than we've been led to believe. And if we eat real food, real whole food of all the colors of the rainbow, we're eating food that will rebuild our health from the inside out. And people need to know that. 82% United States are metabolically unfit, which means we're right on the cusp of toppling over into chronic illness. Chronic illnesses are cancer, heart disease, liver disease, autoimmune disease like me. We're right on the cusp of all of those chronic illnesses. So I want people to hear my message that if they start to adopt healthy habits now, they might be able to avoid that fate.
My next question is can you briefly describe the focus and purpose of your private group? Feeling good, living low toxin.
At the beginning of COVID, and while we were all isolated, it was very active. Now that we're back out into society, I have shifted my focus mostly to my main Facebook page, where I post quite a bit every day, including a healthy recipe every day. But then I give all kinds of health tips every day. And my own personal Cheryl Meyer, and I'm Cheryl Meyer 3. And you can see how my name is spelled there. And I'd love for you to follow me. I plan to do a membership on a course that I've written called Food Quality Matters starting in the fall. And I will probably use Living Low Toxin as my membership platform for that class.
Okay. My next question is, how do you they how do you how do you stay update with the latest trends and research in health and wellness, and how does it influence your coaching and writing?
Researcher. So I am always researching. I write articles for several magazines. Obviously, I just wrote my own magazine. I just wrote my ebook. I am constantly researching. And somebody asked me in my group recently, am I as healthy as I say I am? I'm still looking for my own puzzle pieces, but why I call my superpower that I can pieces that everybody needs for their health while I'm looking for my own. So I'm constantly researching. The people that I follow at the back of my book in the appendix, I get newsletters from them. I read their book. I follow them so that I know what's happening in their world and I can then communicate all of the information that I get with the people who follow me. So I am constantly getting new information. Health is a journey, it is not a destination. So I'm getting new information all the time that I'm sharing with the people who follow me.
Okay. What advice do you have for individual looking to improve their health and reduce toxic exposure?
What I would recommend is that you go to my website, CherylMHealthMuse.com, and get a copy of my free digital magazine. It is in English, but I have my 20 pillars of health in there. I talk about what not to eat, what to eat. And then I have a friend who is an environmental toxin expert who wrote her story. And then she is offering a toss that you can take, and there's a link right in there. You'll see all my books, you'll see all my classes if you go through my magazine. Um, what apps are available so that you can look at the codes, how toxic they are. It is a wealth of information and it's all in one place in my magazine. So if you want to upgrade health, I would start with reading my magazine cover to cover. Then a food class, but I don't know how our to yours. So I don't know if that would be a good thing for your followers to take or not. But the magazine will give you all the basics that you need to be healthy.
Okay. Share a participatory inspiring success story from your coaching participant.
Well, as I said, I have probably 40 or 50 testimonials in my blog on my website of people who have thought advice, changed how they ate, started eating real food, started breathing, started stress release, started getting enough sleep. And all of those are my success stories. It's my proven concept that what I'm teaching is helping people. Beyond that, when I first published my book, somebody and she wrote to me that I must have saved her life because for 5 years she'd been going from doctor to doctor to doctor and not getting any answers. And by reading my book and implementing what she learned, she was starting to feel really good again, which is because that's the goal for everybody. And that she had because of my information. That's why I do what I do. I want to impact people's health so that they can live their best possible life.
Okay, my next question is, share Share a participantly in. Okay, yeah, sorry. How do you balance your net? How do you balance your network as a health coach and other with your personal life?
Um, I met my soulmate after I got sick. I went online and I looked for somebody who wanted to go on a get well journey with me. So we had two homes in Los Angeles. We sold one of them and we bought a home in Sedona, Arizona, which is one of the wonders of the world. It is very beautiful here that are in very unusual formations. So I travel between Sedona and California. I live part time at both ends. So I have a wonderful husband. On weekends, we go to two different parts. That's become kind of a hobby for us. So that's how I relax. And I do a lot of hiking and things in the Sedona area where it is spectacular and nature is sensational so that I can relax and let the wind blow through my mind and then be ready to dig back in and write more articles and more books.
Okay. What are spark your passion for promoting low toxin living and its impact on health?
I got sick. It became a big thing for me to get well. And had I not gotten sick, I was sick and tired of being sick. I was bedridden. I was not going to live that life. So that's what started me down the path of health. I dug in. I was reading medical journals. I was reading everything looking for my own answers. And I fell into some medical community, which is a offshoot of our regular conventional medicine here, but they believe in treating the whole body. And I agree with that. I followed their advice and I finally found my own functional doctor. So that's why I got into this. My why was big. I didn't want to hurt anymore. Everything in my body hurt. Fibromyalgia attacks every muscle in the body. So I wasn't going to live that way. So my why was big.
Okay. Claudio, share a glimpse on the key messages or lesson from your books.
The biggest lesson is own your own health. Don't let anyone tell you that anything is impossible. My doctor told me I was going to be on heavy, serious medication the rest of my life. And she wanted me to go for mental therapy because she didn't really believe there was anything wrong with me. I knew there was something wrong with me. Own your own health. Do your own research. Nothing is impossible. Is I'm possible. So believe that you can find your answers to whatever your problems are that are ailing your body. So my biggest thing that I want people to do is learn where to research. I can help you with that if you want to hire me as your coach, but you need to own your own body and do your own research to find your own puzzle pieces for your health. And that's my biggest mission to everybody.
Okay. How do you stay motivated and continue to inspire others in your field?
I get a lot of feedback, both from the people who follow me on Facebook and the people who take my classes. Excitement to keep going. I am changing people's lives, and I love that. So if you follow me even just on my Facebook page, which is free, you'll get all kinds of health tips, and you'll see the people. And sometimes I don't hear anything, and they'll go, "Do you know how you're impacting everybody's life with what you're doing?" That's what keeps me going. I want to change how people take care of themselves so that they can grow old as I am. I'm 75 and I feel better than I did in my 50s. I want for everybody.
Okay. What's next for Kyle, Health Mouse, INC, and Heavenly Trees Press? Any upcoming projects or activities your you like to share?
I just started writing for a brand new magazine called Soultivity. It's also an international digital magazine. I have a new course that I'm rolling out that has 20 modules on everything you ever wanted to know about food but didn't know who to ask. And I'm going to do it as a membership in half an hour segments with then an hour for questions where you have access to me to learn. But it's everything from how to pick a vegetable to how to store a vegetable so that it will last, and why you definitely want it organic without, I don't know if you're spraying your crops like we are, but our crops are sprayed with poison, and that is not a good thing. And then I'm working on a great big project that's waiting for what's called angel money. So if that comes through, then I'm going to be one of their lead health people. So that will consume me. So I'm excited about everything that's coming up. I also plan to do more public speaking. When COVID happened, I had to come off the road because I am immune compromised. I didn't want to get COVID. And now that we are in a better situation here, I'm going to get back out into the public to present my message in person because I have a certain enthusiasm that gets people to pay attention to me. So I want people to see me, meet me, and hear it in person.
Thank you, Cheryl, for sharing your valuable insight with us today. To our viewers, remember small step toward a healthier lifestyle can make a big difference. Stay with and that care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
साईं, हमारी फसलों को कीड़े लग रहे हैं, साईं क्या करें?
बस आसान करो।
आसान करो हैं?